James here with James Brown and Coach Justin Line, the head basketball coach at Hart County High School. Coach Line, first of all, we want to thank you for coming on the show with us.
It's good to be here.
We are Tell Me About It here at Glasgow EPB, Channel 6, the local sports source. And what we're doing on our first show is we're kind of doing a preview of all the district tournaments in the area, Glasgow and Barron, and then, of course, Caverna and Hart. So before we get into the district tournament, you played Monday night and Tuesday night, and you're coming off 2 big wins. What kind of momentum is that going to give you heading into the district tournament?
You know, we're starting to get healthy. We're playing good basketball. We speeded up our pace. Now that I have a few bodies back, we're able to play the pace that we've wanted to play basically the whole year. But the most important thing, I believe, is we're passing the ball better again. We've kind of been stagnant over the last week or so. Our assist totals have been low in the last 2 games. We've had 38 total assists, and that's one of the reasons why we're scoring the points that we are.
Coach Barker was in earlier. Of course, LaRue County is not only the favorite to win the district, but now they become one of the favorites to win the region. They beat some really good teams. You guys are going to play them in the first round. How do you feel going into that matchup, playing at home against LaRue?
I mean, we're excited to play at home for sure, and hopefully by then we're going to be at full strength. You know, we weren't at full strength when we played them at their place. And this time of year, you just never know what will happen. But we're hoping to go in there on a 6-game win streak, very similar to last year going into the district tournament, even when we were the lower seed. And we really stepped up on the court in the first quarter of the district tournament and set the tone. And that's what we're looking to do at our place.
When you look at LaRue, what's the key to you having success against them?
Well, number one, they shoot the lights out of it.
Yeah.
And they don't turn the ball over. But I think finding a way to make them uncomfortable on offense is key. But the most important thing is just put the ball in the hole yourself. When we went to their place, we had opportunities to score, and we just flat out missed shots. And when you don't score against them, they make you pay. So stepping up and making those shots and having the confidence that when you get those looks, you got to put it in the hole. You make shots, a lot of good things happen. You play better defense naturally, and we had the looks early, we didn't make them, and it kind of snowballed at their place. So avoiding that pitfall of not finishing on the offensive end, which then leads into transition points where they are extremely good.
They play with so much confidence offensively, LaRue does. I mean, how do you get your players to match their confidence?
That's a challenge. It's a valid question, and their confidence stems from, I believe, it's 56 straight district tournament wins. I mean, when you're on top and you have that winning mentality, it's almost a natural thing to come out and want to win. And these guys, my group, they have been winners their whole life, and so they do have that inside of them, and you can see it now, even though. We ended up with a 4. They haven't quit. You see the 2 games. We've played 2 of our better games this year in back-to-back nights. Now, even after our quote-unquote district fate has been set, they're not scared, and they're going to come out, and they've battling every day to get better and work on the things that we're going to do on the court that night. Coach,
watching LaRue County play, I think I've watched them play 3 times this year. Not only can they shoot, but they're a very physical team.
100%.
I'm very familiar with a lot of your guys, from football season, and you have a lot of physical players. Do you think if you turned it into a physical game, do you think that could change the outcome some?
It depends. It's the mindset of setting the tone from the tip, and they did that to us at their place. But when they made 3 threes in a row at the beginning, we backed off. Instead of taking away space and forcing them to go through us and earn the buckets. So you're going to see a different atmosphere. You're going to see a different focus on defense, and hopefully the animal comes out inside of us.
Sorry, James. Aside from your game, you got Caverna and Green.
Sure.
What do you think about the district as a whole?
I would say our district showed that we were by far the dark horse. I think everybody looked at our district this year and was just like, they're not going to do much. I mean, if you look at the ratings, not many of us got it. Even LaRue didn't get the respect that they clearly have shown that they are. I mean, they're clearly a top. If they're not the top team, they're in the top 3, period, no questions, with the win over E-Town last night. But, Caverna has, their record speaks for itself. And then Green they are really playing great basketball right now, and we caught them at a time where they're shooting way over their average in the three-point land, and We were not, and that killed us. We did not make shots. They did, and it seemed like every time we went on a run, they stemmed it with a three. But all four of our teams, whichever two teams go, I don't think people are going to want to draw us. Where previously, it's been okay. If I don't get LaRue, that the 18th district's going to be an all right draw. I don't think that's the case this time. I mean, we've all four of the teams have shown we can compete in the region this year, and I think that's impressive.
At the region level, you mentioned LaRue beating E-Town
Sure.
Recently, and then they've also had a couple of other big wins. Taylor County, I think, only has 3 losses. But to me, when I look at the 5th region on the boys' side this year, it looks as wide open as I've ever seen it. Is that how it's kind of looked to you?
100%. I mean, when we were at our lowest in terms of our roster number of players, we went into North Hardin and lost by one. We were winning with 8 seconds to go and got beat on an and one, and their best player made the best player play. He did, and I got to give him credit. But that was a 1-point loss at North Hardin, and we haven't beaten North Hardin in 40 years. And we were there with really a skeleton crew, but our guys battled the whole time. And then you see what they just did. North Hardin just waylaid Taylor County, and Taylor County is phenomenal. LaRue smashes us, and then we play Taylor County on their homecoming night to a 10-point ball game, and we were in it at the end. It was a couple possessions away. So, and we're the 4th seed in the district.
Right.
So I just think that shows that whichever two teams come out of our district, they will compete. And I believe, arguably, you could say both teams could have a strong chance of winning 1 or 2 games, and possibly, who knows, going on a 3-game win streak there and hanging a banner.
Speaking of your team, I know you have some upperclassmen.
Sure.
I followed you guys. Of course, I follow all sports, but Jacob Shoulders, he's a kid that I learned in football. He doesn't say much, but his work ethic in football is crazy. What about basketball?
Crazy would probably be putting it nicely. He's the hardest working kid that I have ever been around, and I've been around a lot of hard working kids. I've got him in class, and another freshman was joking to him. So when you go home after you're done with basketball, like, what do you do in your free time? They were talking about video games or whatnot. He goes, I go back and shoot some more basketball. And they looked at him like, what? and then but a kid who has no sports whatever, he said, well, no wonder you are doing what you're doing as a freshman. And it was like, man, he gets it, and this kid doesn't know anything about sports, but he gets it because he understands the commitment that he has shown, and he doesn't know anything about it. But the commitment's there, and really you're starting to see a few other players buy into it too because they see where it's getting him, and they've kind of latched on. So,
outside of the 18th district, who are some other players in the well, not just outside of the 18th district, outside of your team?
Sure.
Who are some players in the 5th region that you think can make an impact during a stretch or a run during the regional tournament?
Well, we can just go through your teams. Jalen Crane is beyond impressive with the ball in his hands, and their size across the board. You could name all of them. The Twins have come a long way, and then Meek is just a force in and of itself. But Jalen creates the space for those bigs to work. We were forced to double him in so many ways that there was always a big on the backside, and they were efficient. They're efficient at putting the ball in the hole on the backside, and that is, in my opinion, one of the reasons why they've been so successful lately. Then if you go to Green, Blakeman is obviously their horse, but every single one of their guys can come off the bench and make a three. And when you've got guys that 8-10 deep that can come in and you still have to guard them at the 3-point line, it's complex. And then Daniel Allen, in my opinion, is the best player in the region.
All right, thanks. Well, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by and giving us a little preview, and we hope to have you back on the show again. Good luck to you.
Thank you all for doing this. We're excited for just our whole district getting to see about these kids and learn more about them. So thank you all for this.
Well, it's no problem. Good luck to you at the district tournament. I think you've got a few games before then. I know you play Glasgow Saturday.
Yeah, we got a game tomorrow at Russell County, Glasgow Saturday, and then we finish up with 2 home games, Monroe and Adair next week.
All right. Thanks again, and we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll have John Bird from the Hart County Lady Raiders.